Portland, Dorset is fast becoming one of the most popular cruise ports in England, and it is part of the Jurassic Coast, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and is close to the popular seaside town of Weymouth, especially now because there's this newly developed deep water berth, so now much larger ships can dock there. I was on board the beautiful MSC Virtuosa, which was the first ship with a capacity of over 5,000 passengers that could dock at Portland. There's not actually too much to do in Portland, so most people go to Weymouth for the day, which takes between 10 and 15 minutes on this complimentary bus ride. And please stick around until the end of the video for an amazing embarkation and sail away surprise. And for a little bit of background, Portland Harbour, when it was completed in 1872, was the largest man-made harbour in the world. It was a naval base for the Royal Navy and was a centre for research into torpedo warfare in the late 1800s. During the First World War, dreadnought battleships were based at Portland, and in 1940 the harbour was attacked by the Germans. During the course of the war, there were 48 air attacks, dropping 532 bombs. And Portland was a major embarkation port for American troops during D-Day. The US 1st Infantry Division embarked from here and landed at Omaha Beach, which was where I was going on the next day of this cruise. So please subscribe to see my D-Day landing and excursion. And the bus dropped us off just a couple of minutes walk from town. The first area you'll come to is Hope Square, which used to be a harbour inlet but now has many bars and restaurants. Although there is quite a bit of redevelopment going on in this area, especially to Brewery Quay, which used to house the Weymouth Museum. And across Weymouth is a mural trail. This is Moonshiner by Ivy Langley, which was inspired by the history of smuggling in the local area. And despite not living too far away from Weymouth, I'd never been myself. And after finally getting here, I really wish I'd been here before. And Weymouth itself was formed of two settlements of Weymouth and Melcombe Regis on opposite sides of Weymouth Harbour. And in 1571, Queen Elizabeth I united both towns in an Act of Parliament. And it's believed that this was the first port at which the Black Death came into England in 1348. I don't think that's something the Tourist Information Board promote. Cruise lines will offer a variety of excursions for your stay in Portland. However, they tend to be cheaper if you book it yourself. So if you'd like to book a boat trip around Durdledore or Weymouth Bay, you can usually do so from the harbour. And if you'd like to travel further afield, you can visit Stonehenge. And if you're interested in military history, you can visit the Tank Museum at Bovington, which I have visited, and I'll be uploading a video from there soon. And now I'm crossing to the other side of the harbour on the Weymouth Town Bridge, which was opened in 1930. And this is the view into Weymouth Harbour itself. Just a fantastic view to see all these little sailboats. And once we got to the other side of the bridge, we saw this sign with the lifting times. so we had just enough time to go grab a drink and watch the bridge lifting and the boat sail through. And if you've got some free time, you can even go and catch crabs. And when you come to Weymouth, make sure you save some time to watch the boats pass underneath the bridge. This was just so great to watch. And after watching the sailboats, I then decided to walk down the opposite side of the harbour. Which had a selection of bars, cafes and restaurants. And back in Hope Square, it was time to check out some more historic buildings. Like the Old Rooms, that was built in 1760, and the Hope United Reformed Church, built in 1861 and has been a Grade 2 listed building since 1974. And Tudor House is one of the best preserved Tudor buildings in England. It was built in the early 1600s and became a Grade 2 listed building in 1953. Unfortunately, it was closed during the time of our visit. And as it was fast approaching last call to get on the ship, we decided to get the bus back. And the harbour itself looked absolutely beautiful, and you can see the ship just in the background. There's definitely something about England when the sun is out, which unfortunately doesn't happen very often. And as we approached the ship, we could hear something, but we couldn't quite work out what it was. But once we got off the bus, we were greeted by Weymouth Concert Brass. I've never had a brass band play as I board a ship before. And that wasn't the only surprise. The North Fork cannon fired as we sailed away. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on.